Back in 2020, a lot of us were looking for something to do during all of our extra time indoors. One of the things that I did was I made an entirely fictionalized football league. 32 teams, all brand new cities and teams and fan bases, everything that you can name. I built it all from scratch in Madden 2010. And so that's what I'm going to be stepping back into because it's Super Bowl Sunday, and I don't really care for either team that's going into the Super Bowl. Since my team was knocked out, the Lions were knocked out, and both of the options right now were just sort of insufferable. Yeah, I think that's probably the way to look at that. So I'm going to be doing a Super Bowl that is from an entirely new season. I did unfortunately lose everything from the original season because the Xbox 360 that we used to use for filming purposes did unfortunately buy the farm. So I had to create this all brand new in an emulator over this past couple of days. So new teams, new stats, new everything. I had to go and take all these notes, figure these things out. And so the game that we're going to be watching today is one of my favorite teams, actually, which is the Norfolk Tridents versus the Las Vegas Card Sharks, which is actually perfect since the actual Super Bowl is happening in Las Vegas today. And I'm going to be presenting this almost completely in real time. There's going to be almost no editing, no anything. In Helmetball, I used to actually put in my own overlays. I used to edit out anything that said NFL or EA Sports as much as I possibly could and give it the fictionalized universe's branding. However, that took a lot of time and a lot of effort, and considering I have a bunch of other projects and work that has to be done now, I don't exactly have that kind of time. But if this is something that people are interested in, perhaps we can find a way to bring it back. All 32 teams, a full season, playoffs, Super Bowl, everything in between. Typically, I would have a secondary commentator with me, and usually, again, we were doing a bit. We were playing characters, doing the whole thing. I'm going to be presenting today as myself, but I hope you enjoy this game of the Norfolk Tridents versus the Las Vegas Card Sharks. Here we go. Okay, already here we are. We're ready for the kickoff, and it immediately jumps in because you don't have to do any of the play calling when you're just spectating. So welcome to the Super Bowl. As I said before, my name is Colin Parker, and today we are looking at the Norfolk Tridents versus the Las Vegas Card Sharks. Now, the Card Sharks are getting the ball here first at the start of the half, and right off the bat, we have a handoff from Landon Rux to Benny Teague. This is a combo that I think you're going to see a lot. They have a stronger running game than passing game. Landon Rux is actually their second string quarterback because their first string quarterback, whose last name is Bankles, did get injured at some point in the playoffs. Now, Landon Rux did end up winning the championship game, leading into this game entirely on his own. So Landon Rux can hold his own. But unfortunately, we're not seeing that, at least here at the start. The Norfolk Tridents are currently the best and most winning team in the league with only 3 losses this entire season, whereas the Card Sharks do have 6. They're definitely sort of a wild card win here. And the fact that they got this far is pretty impressive. But already the ball has been punted over to the Norfolk Tridents, and we do see Pierre Dudley passing off the ball already to Brock Hester. Once again, another combo you're probably going to see a lot of. Pierre Dudley rather, is quite good at deep passes. However, Brock Hester is an insane powerhouse in this team. So he definitely runs the ball a lot. Now, already Pierre is throwing way over the heads of people. So he does have quite a cannon, but sometimes I think it's a little bit too strong. He's kind of putting too much heat into it. You're going to see, I think, a lot of overthrown passes from him today, but not this time, as number 87 brings that ball in, which is J.J. Dye. J.J. Dye, of course, being the second-year player out of North Carolina getting the ball. But this time, the ball is broken up by the Card Sharks number 40, which is Billy Snyder, cornerback. Been in the league for about 10 years now. So he's quite seasoned and is quite ready to make big plays like this. Now, here's that big Hester play like I was talking about, but unfortunately he's going to lose a yard. He's not quite as good as he once was, it seems. Now we have another pass here coming in and another broken up pass by number 40. That was getting a little close, and we're going to go for a field goal attempt. It's going to be just to the right. Pat Newton from Utah State, quite a good kicker, but unfortunately that kick pulled to the right a little bit too much. It's a pretty deep kick, so most kickers can't quite make those that amount of yards there. And already Teague has run the ball for only a yard gain, coming out of the backfield there. But Rux is in at quarterback and ready to go, and almost intercepted there. Number 47 of the Tridents, that is of course Nico Burton. Nico Burton is actually a rookie this year, coming in fresh off the draft. But unfortunately, number 85 is going to get that first down for the Card Sharks. Sorry, unfortunately for the Tridents. Obviously, if you're a Card Sharks fan, you're going to be quite happy with that. And that was to Jesse Aldridge. And once again, Teague is in the backfield, running it in for 3 yards. Not a huge gain, but a gain nonetheless. Rux has been in the field for quite a while. He was the starter at Purdue during his time there. So he's quite seasoned. And look at that beautiful pass and, quite a good tackle there. But number 89, Ernie Tillman, is able to pull it in from Houston. Rux does the play action and almost intercepted. Good Lord, a lot of passes today getting broken up. These defenses are pretty strong. Once again, Nico Burton making a play on the ball there. And we've got someone in motion. Rux deep. Nope, he's going to go short. Almost intercepted again. Rux has to be careful. He's got a lot of balls getting bobbled in the air there. And the Tridents have to be kicking themselves a little bit here to say that one of them can't seem to bring one in. An interception here would be pretty crucial. And as I say it, it's almost as though I've jinxed them. I do apologize. But that is number 49 bringing in that pass. That is Brody Weaver, the free safety from Oklahoma. Been in the team for about 7 years now. Hasn't played for anyone else. He's been a Trident from the start. And number 22, Brock Hester. Oh my God, look at this. He is going to take this one possibly to the house, which is definitely an insult considering the Card Sharks' big fan base is called the house because the house always wins for them. But today, they've got to be careful because it looks like the Tridents are looking to win over the house. And that is 7 points on the board with just a few seconds left in the first quarter. But we're going to run it out. I'm so surprised, actually. I'm surprised we did not take a knee, Card Sharks. Number 87, Barnes, running that one out to the 24-yard line. So a couple extra yards than just taking a knee. But still, you would expect someone to catch it in the end zone, take that knee, take the guaranteed yardage. Teague takes the ball and runs it, but getting nowhere fast. Landon Rux getting there, probably going to get one more play in before the end of the quarter, rather. And that is Tillman, Ernie Tillman, once again, but getting not really much distance there. With only a few seconds left, you're going to have to imagine that we're going to take the quarter. Oh, no, we're not. We're going to get one last play off. They are looking to make a play, but unfortunately throwing to just the empty midfield there. Wow, and you look at these stats, 35 yards versus 109 on the Tridents. You can definitely see that right now it's feeling a little one-sided. Is the second-string quarterback going to be able to hang in there for this entire Super Bowl? Or is this going to be kind of what we're going to see all day? It's starting to look that way. Number 15 back at the helm. If you're a Norfolk Tridents fan, you've got to be excited to see anytime Pierre Dudley has that ball ready to go deep. He's going to go for a little over 12 yards, it looks like 11, sorry, for Parkman. That is the first time catch today for Lionel Parkman, the tight end from BYU. They've been certainly a dynamic force this season. Parkman not necessarily used quite as much as J.J. Dye or Jason Savage, but definitely a go-to for Pierre Dudley. Pierre Dudley puts number 85 in motion. That's Lionel Parkman again, but it's actually a handoff to Brock Hester. Not going anywhere there, but Dudley is ready to go. A fake handoff almost into the face of the referee, but instead the pass is reined in by none other than J.J. Dye. Okay, they're calling the shots here. It's going to be a deep one, it looks like. Oh, and he gets hit as he goes to throw it, going to no one. Dudley, though, remains calm under the helm. A little under 5 minutes left in the second quarter. He's got some time to make some plays, although it's going to be intercepted. Oh, no. Now an interception on either side. That is number 28 of the Card Sharks. That is, of course, Casper Lucas, number 28 from Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt's got to feel pretty proud seeing someone of their caliber in the Super Bowl, but who's probably not feeling too good right now is Landon Rux as he gets sacked and thrown to the ground for a loss of 5. Perry in motion in the backfield there. What has Rux got under his sleeve? And it is a handoff to Teague, and Teague gets perhaps a yard. It looks like it's going to be a yard. Doesn't look like it was much, unfortunately. They're still playing out of the backside of their half, but they're getting close to the 50 there. Is it going to be enough to get the first down? We're going to have the chain crew come out, and it is going to be enough. That is a first down. Look at how excited they are. Okay, Aldridge, that's his second pass today, reining in 25 yards so far. That's almost as many yards as they had in the first quarter. So perhaps Rux is starting to finally find his pattern here. Only throwing for 45 yards, though, today. More than half of those going to Aldridge. Rux once again handing it off to Benny Teague. I apologize. Teague, though, gonna get them nowhere. Running mostly sideways, trying to beat out those defenders, but can't quite get there. It's gonna have to be a good pass, and it is. Number 89, Ernie Tillman, ringing it in. That is the way you want to see these things go. Okay. I apologize. I am looking at my stats here. It looks like that last pass was actually to Wade Barnes, as this one is broken up. Had a little bit of a number confusion there on my part. I apologize. A lot of numbers to be looking at, especially when you're by yourself here in the booth. Rux pretty undefended, really, to some extent, but number 89 does bring it in once again. We've got a little bit under the 2-minute warning here. Since we ran it out of bounds there, it's going to be kind of a quick one. And the pass is broken up and not intercepted, though. But look at the Tridents. They are excited. Tucker breaking that one up there. And it's going to be a punt from Rob Mann, number 18. It's going to go through the end zone, so that's going to be a touchback there. And it is once again Trident's ball. Las Vegas not even breaking even, unfortunately. Tridents pass it off, or hand it off, rather. Only a yard gain. Now, are they going to go for another touchdown, or are they just going to run out the half and come into this next half strong. Well, they're going to have to probably make some sort of move, as it's now 3rd and 11, and Las Vegas does take a timeout to stop that clock. Las Vegas hoping to get some sort of points on the board before the half ends. Once again, using a timeout. They are going to have to punt it. And that is number 11, Curtis Richardson, punting it to the, looks about like around the 40, to number 87, who's got some yards, actually. Surprising to see. That is Wade Barnes, once again, taking the kick returns there. Kick and punt returns, rather. Rux, Rux throws it to a different person wearing black and white, to the referee instead of to his own player. It is not caught. Rux has a minute on the clock. Can he at least get them into field goal territory? Oh, that has to hurt. That is a massive loss of yards there as we hit 3rd and 16 and under a minute. Only one timeout remaining. And they're going to need that if they're going to get at least a kick in. So he's going to have to go for a deep pass here. And it's not. Surprisingly, only getting them to the 50. It's 4th and 9. They have to go for it if they want to get points. But they're not going to. They're going to punt it. They are looking as though they understand that if they let it go at the 50, that could put the Tridents in a position to get another 3. So they're going to punt it. And once again, it's going to go through the back half there. Now, what can the Tridents get going on this one? It looks like they're just going to be handing it off to Hester, just sort of running down the clock. Not trying to make any kind of special moves, just playing it safe, playing it earnestly. They could just let the clock run out here. They might hand it off one more time, but most likely, this is going to be the half. And it was as I suspected. That is halftime. Actually, a pretty exciting game. Despite the low score, things are moving pretty quickly. The Card Sharks have made some rather good moves here in this first half, but just not enough time. They keep making a few mistakes, and again, Landon Rux is not throwing as good as his counterpart used to. Now, one of the highlights here being Pierre Dudley throwing only for 9 yards, but then again a deeper pass for 17 yards. Surprisingly, Dudley has not gone for a extremely deep pass, but today we do have an interception by Weaver, getting out 11 yards, and then once again, another interception on the other side of this, though. The biggest play of today, though, however, being the 91-yard rush by, of course, Hester here on the Tridents. Brock Hester with a 91 return. You've got to feel pretty good on that one. That is a huge run. 99 rushing yards, most of those just from that one alone. Pass yards, only 37 from the Tridents. Pretty surprising, but 136 total yards. So they are still looking to put up some fairly decent numbers here. And unfortunately for the Card Sharks, the Tridents do get the ball at the start of this half. There is number 30 taking the ball out. That is Kelsey Madison, getting it out to the 31. A pretty good distance there. Starting them off with pretty solid yardage to start off this second half. Dudley back and fires it off. That is a pass to Savage, number 40. Number 80. Not sure how I got that number wrong, considering I'm looking right at it. But he drops back again, and once again, oh wait, are they calling it no good? Interesting. It looked like he did not get that second foot in. That would have been a pretty big play for them right there. But it was not good enough. Another deep pass across the 10-yard line, or the 10-yard marker there, rather. Reining it in, that is another first down for Pierre Dudley. I'm really looking for him to get some deep passes in here. Some 30, 40-yarders. But we're not seeing that. Perhaps playing it a little bit conservatively. Card Sharks' defense is pretty good. They've been really kind of giving the Tridents a little bit of a run for their money. It's their offense that's been struggling the most today. And that is case in point as number 61, Maynard, breaks it up. Howard Maynard breaks it up. Can he do it again? No. Number 86, Palmer, rolls that one in. And there is a penalty on the play. Let's see what we got here. Holding. Interesting. They're going to have to do it again. Ooh, this is a big drop back, so they're going to have to punt it now instead of getting the extra field goal there. This is putting them at the 20. Still a pretty even game. I mean, the Card Sharks could pull this one out last minute. It would be a pretty huge upset to come in from the wild card and to beat the number 1 team in the league right now, as Tillman pulls in his first pass of the day. Rux is out there directing traffic. What does Rux have up his sleeve? And it is unfortunately an interception by number 55. My goodness. Fisk, not something that you want to see. As a quarterback, you do not want to see Fisk on the other side of that ball there. Then here we go. Here's the kind of deep pass that I was talking about. And unfortunately, oh my God, it is another interception. That is his second one of the day. Both quarterbacks with 2 interceptions. And that puts Rux back on the field at the 20. Can Rux make anything of this incredible opportunity that he's been given? So far, no, as he throws it directly down the middle, in the middle of traffic to nobody in particular. He drops back again, and he's going to try and run for it, but not fast enough. He's going to, unfortunately, still lose a couple of yards there. He saw the play break up, but not quite in time to get something going. And that is a huge sack for McKenzie. My God. McKenzie is unstoppable. That is Nate McKenzie, fresh out of San Francisco State. This is a punt from within their own end zone. Barely getting past the 50. And there goes number 30, breaking already past the 40. That is really good field advantage for them there. Kelsey Madison getting about 20 yards-ish, somewhere around there. There is the handoff to Teague, but not Teague, I'm so sorry, Hester. Hester is not going to be able to do anything with that, though. That's going to be a loss of yards for the Tridents. The Tridents have been blowing a lot of people out of the water all season, and we're not seeing a play like that today. However, that was an impressive throw on the run to Palmer, number 86, who still brings it in despite getting hit pretty hard there. Hester back in the backfield and once again running, but unfortunately it seems that they know that Hester's going to be getting that ball. They're very familiar with this 1-2 punch from Dudley and Hester, and they are blocking and preparing for it. Coming off the right hash, the play is broken up. Number 85 cannot ring it in. Lionel Parkman, not enough. It is 3rd down already. This is the one. They're going to have to get a 10-yard advantage there, or they're going to have to kick it. Hester gets 5 yards. That's his first catch of the day. And oh my God, another missed kick. Wow. If you're the Tridents, you have to be looking at Pat Newton, realizing that after 10 years in the league, 10 years might be too long for that leg. As T gets yet another rush finally hitting 4 yards. Teague has had a pretty impressive season, but today, not much to show for it. The loss of yards have been pretty significant, and once again, you're going to see more loss of yards, or rather barely breaking even, it looks like. It looked more like it was a loss of 1 to me, but perhaps those lines aren't always exactly accurate when you're looking at those superimposed lines. Oh, almost intercepted as he bobbles the ball as he gets hit. The ball comes up. Tridents cannot pull it in, and it's just barely the start of the 4th quarter as they immediately get the ball punted back to them. This time a much better punt as they can't get past the 50. There is holding, however, and it is once again against the Tridents. The Tridents are the only people with, the only team today with penalties. It's not exactly killing them, but for sure, if they do end up losing, that could be a crucial point of the game. And there you have it. There is Palmer, number 86, holding in that one. Really getting them into good territory there. They only have a yard to go. And Hester is going to barely make it past, but he has the yards. And it is once again a first down. A touchdown here would probably be the ball game for them. And Hester does get the ball. Oh, no. Hester does fumble it, but it looks like they are all fighting for it. Dudley even getting into the fray. Who is going to come up with the ball? Whew, that was a close one. Norfolk comes back with the ball. That is Hester's first loss of the playoffs. And at a crucial time, that could have been a game killer. They continue to hand it to Hester, though. They have other running backs on the team. Hakeem Francis has not seen a single touch here today. Pretty surprising. And Hester continues to get the ball, but it's 4th and 6. You would think that Dudley would want to go deep at some point. Peter Pickett has also not seen a single touch today. You would have to imagine that at some point, the Tridents would recognize that they have to change up the game a little bit. You could win a game 7-0, but is that how you want to win? Let's see what they've got going on here now. Ruck's back with the ball. Ooh, they pull it in. Is it going to be enough for that first down, though? Once again, the chains are out, and it is going to be enough for a first down. Card Sharks, their game stays alive. And that is McKenzie making the tackle. Only a yard gained here. Ruck's back under fire and hands it off once more to your number 27, Benny Teague. Benny Teague not quite having the game of the past season that he's had. It looks as though this one might be a flop for them. Tillman pulls it in, but it is going to be 4th down, and that is the 2-minute warning. It's time to punt the ball. Can the Tridents put just a few extra points up on the board and seal the fate of the Card Sharks? Dudley takes it and passes it off to Hester. The Card Sharks are going to use a timeout to try and stop that clock, doing a little bit more time management like they did in the first half. But is it going to be enough? Or can Hester break free and get another first down? It's going to be, I think, just short. Yep, we have a 3rd and 1 situation. The Tridents need to get a first down here in order to keep the ball out of the Card Sharks' hands, and it is a 4th and 1 situation. They are going to have to punt it. They do not want to give the ball back here. You cannot mess that one up. And out of the backfield, 87, right around the 30, Barnes ringing it in. It is a close game. Not quite the usual game that you've seen from the Tridents this year. Usually blowing every team away by at least 14 points. Every win of theirs has been a win by 14 or more. Even in the playoffs. Just last week beating the New Orleans Horns by a whopping 27 points. But today, only 7 points on the board across both teams. A rather well-fought, well-balanced game, but not the best game from either team except for number 55 getting yet another interception, and that is going to be a pick 6 for number 55, Fisk. My God, Fisk has got to be the player of the game at this point. Fisk has 2 takeaways, and finally, it looks as though the extra points is something that Newton can make there. Pat Newton missing both field goal attempts that he's made. However, the extra points have so far been impeccable. Mac Fisk, number 55, is today's player of the game. There it is right there. You had to expect it. Mac Fisk having just as many points as Pierre Dudley up on the board. As many points as Brock Hester. And the Card Sharks looking to make some sort of play just to not have it be a complete blowout. But number 89 could not hold that one in. Hit while going for it. Ernie Tillman cannot seem to be the savior of the Card Sharks. Landon Rux does get it off, though, this time to Ernie Tillman, getting them a first down and some extra yardage, but with only 1 timeout to go, they're going to have to hustle and get it down the field. They spike it to stop the clock with 21 seconds left on the clock. Can Rux make any kind of movement here? They're going to have to go all in with these next couple of plays. Because if they can't, that is the game. They use their timeout here. There is no other option. 16 seconds and gonna have to be a Hail Mary. All cards and chips on the table. And that is going to be the game. I don't see them being able to get any kind of playoff here in time with 3 seconds left. Oh, and they do it. They make that effort. But it's not going to be enough as he runs out of bounds with 0 seconds left on the clock. And that is 14-0 Norfolk Tridents versus the Las Vegas Card Sharks. And that is the end of the game. I hope you enjoyed that. I really do kind of miss doing this. Doing it on my own is obviously a lot tougher. But looking at some of these stats, it is a really interesting game. Looking at these, everything that's happened, Pierre Dudley had a hell of a season, but looking at his stats here, 24.8% rating, while Rux, who did even worse, still came in with a 29.3, 16 completions over 30 attempts, and 161 yards. Whereas there were only 9 completions on 19 attempts for Pierre Dudley for only 104 yards. However, when you compare the rushing, 1 touchdown for Brock Hester versus 0 for both Tillman and Teague, who both had running attempts on the other side of the ball, or the other side of the field, rather. They couldn't do anything. They only had 5 yards between them over 13 attempts. Meanwhile, on the other side of the thing, back to the Tridents, Brock Hester had 18 attempts and 118 yards and a touchdown. I mean, like, it very much came down to being a running game. The defense was on both sides, actually breaking up a lot of the passes, which is probably why both quarterbacks did not have a good game. Also, seeing a second-string quarterback in during a Super Bowl does not always mean that they're going to lose, but it's typically not necessarily going to be a good thing. Pete Palmer of the Tridents being the best wide receiver for the Tridents with 57 yards, 11.4 average yards on 5 recorded passes. But Greg Warner on the other side for the Las Vegas Card Sharks, also with 5 recorded passes, but 64 yards, averaging out to 12.8. Neither one of them, though, could bring it in for a touchdown. Aldridge, the tight end, only getting 29 yards. Tillman only 21. Eric Santiago, who really is I think a third string wide receiver, or maybe second string, but definitely not one of their best players, coming in with 40 yards, still over top of Ernie Tillman, who was in every single play. And then again, J.J. Dye, kind of one of the biggest players for the Tridents, only pulling in one single pass for 17 yards. So it was a pretty wild game. I was really expecting a huge blowout because when I was doing a test run of everything and watching a previous game, again, they won by over 27 points, or by 27 points rather, in their last game, the Tridents. And the Card Sharks really held their own against them. So maybe it was a better game after all, but still with a 0-14 score, that's the end of this season of Helmetball. Hopefully you enjoyed this. I know that I did. I enjoyed bringing it back and getting back into it. I was a little rusty with the commentary, but when you don't have someone else to do these things with, it means that you're just sort of go all the time. And I had fun with it. And I hope that you did too. And if you stuck through this whole video, then honestly, you're the MVP.